Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. Today is Monday, November 1st, 2021. This is the P.O.C. Y1 8Y. Oh, I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. Let's see. Can't see no license plate over there. I don't know. 6YKS 811. Oh, I don't know. Oh no, that's not mine. 7UHR 776, 7URM 874, I believe. Pure Bakery 17457A3. Directed light in front of the vehicle, driving east on Foothill Boulevard at 8:55 a.m. That's Impossible Light. That's also on the bus. 6SQT385. O Park is crossing path. CF 046. OPARC, the one engaged in terrorism at Fontana Lewis Library under the fake sun. 7HWR 408. I'm at Foothill in Elmeria. 6VMV 933. XXH 091. All right, and as understand, this environment is serving federal stalking, but I'm also revealing what's demonic activity, and that's exactly why I'm referring to the people of the state according to their condition, all right, in this demonic environment that is maintained while they practice demonic activity. And as these demons cross path, 8EPW210, 7SOZ418, 8JQS527, as these demons cross path in the engineered light, all right, the state is stalking with light, all right, that's demonic, and these are the demon possessed, maintaining group presence cooperatively. As they are crossing path in directed light, the magnified size of their shadows bending backwards. This is Edison, license 07320D1. You have what is the engineered light that's on the ground while they are crossing path as well. I showed you the engineered light that is on the inside of the bus, and this is documentation of what is terrorism on what is a venue that is in transit. That's the Omnitrans bus, okay? This is how you're treating any place where you're at. They are all venues because this pattern of conduct is underway. And this is speaking to an intentional environment, deliberate one, and it is also revealing what is deliberate presence in that environment. 10738M1, state sounding sirens while I'm on the bus. That's amplified audible activity. All right, this is the stages surrounding in that environment with that form of audible activity on the bus. That's 8:57 a.m. Edison stalking in the path in engineered light. It is US.0590076. This is the second Edison vehicle. And these are large size utility trucks while the state is sounding those sirens, by the way. Just want to be clear, I'm at Foothill Boulevard, and I believe this is Cherry. No. This is, yeah, it's Cherry. Edison, Stalking, Indirected Light, license 34245H3. Oh no, this is Citrus, excuse me. Citrus Avenue and Foothill in Fontana. 7LJF 341 7BBP 093. 8GNW 825. And the demon-possessed stalker you saw get on the bus is now getting off of the bus. Her shadow is in front of her. Her shadow is also on the side where I'm pointing my finger. That's double shadows in front of her while she's getting on the bus. 7BBP 093 is monitoring while the state is opening and closing that door, creating light activity on the venue. That's why you follow with the fake sun. That's why you are filling the venue with directed light. And that is the state touching and engaging in terrorism with that directed light. It is currently 8:59 a.m. 8AFE 227. Stalking with light at Norm's Market and Liquor at Oleander and Foothill. XOT 978, 8JGX 560, 8SCJ 923, 8FNM 285, 8JQA 128 crossing path again.
Cypress Avenue.
As you heard, approaching Cypress. Passing Cypress now on Foothill Boulevard. Monitoring at the Dragon Motel.
Stop requested. If possible, please use your...
They're all monitoring. I'm only speaking to those who are out, visible, engaging in the P.O.C. Before my eyes. But let me be clear, the state's system is underway. They are inside of all of the venues as I am being systematically subject to this criminal system, while the people of the state, these are the demon-possessed in that demonic environment, are all monitoring together, okay? So, for example, as I see you standing outside of the Dragon Motel on Foothill Boulevard, you are in relevant position, intentionally placing yourself. That's called positioning, and in operation of your communication device. Or, for example, in front of Norm's Market in the parking lot, stalking with light in the path while the bus is driving by 8WPL 117. And that's what I'm speaking to. The state's fake sun is over the entirety of this route, okay? Monitoring with communication devices spans a radius. This is why the state is stalking with planes and helicopters, okay? So this is in no way suggesting that those are the only venues that are monitoring. Just want to make sure I clarify that. 9:01 a.m., state's fake sun in the window over my face, molesting my person at Jennifer and Foothill. This is Coolix VIP. 7HDK 954. 906 RF handicap. HEMIROX.
Please remember that masks.
That's audible activity in the state's environment, which is present on the bus. Understand that. 6MSG711, and that's called criminal facilitation while the environment is present, and you play an announcement in that environment. That's the same thing using the PA system in the grocery store, where the state's fake sun is over your venue. Directed light is inside of your venue. All right, you're understanding how the P.O.C. works. The state is present. It is 9:02 a.m. 8KWZ330, 8KTP275, 6RME, I can't see the rest of them, 4NLW220.
Juniper Avenue.
7GHM428. Alrighty, it is 9:02 a.m. All right, I am aboard, well, getting off now, Omnitrans bus number 1270, license plate 1399984, ABM building value, license 22845M2, crossing path, route 66, 1545684, directed light, 7E59812, 7M69667. All right, and that bus 2350 is crossing path going the opposite route, exiting the Fontana Metrolink train station. They're crossing path with directed light in front of that bus. All right, and bus number 1357, I will get the license plate of that one right now. But again, that's the bus that I just got off of right now. This is bus number, are you here taking off? That's bus number 1270. P.O.C, it is currently 9:05 a.m. And understand how these demons operate. They are patrolling in traffic. As I get off the bus, I walk to the back of the bus and understand there's shade back there. They are crossing path, and then you have impossible light activity appearing in the shade while the demon-possessed driving Omnitrans buses, driving commercial vehicles, in other words, all right, and driving their own private vehicles. They are monitoring, crossing path in the environment, engaging in stalking conduct with every awareness of what I'm doing as I'm doing it, moment by moment, all right? This is demonic activity. Federal stalking is underway, though, and this is keeping surrounded. That's what I just documented right now while I'm reading those license plates, those flurry of license plates, while those demons engage in what is maintenance of presence. That's what is the significance of what I'm documenting and the environment that I'm documenting it in, okay? I want to be clear of that. And so you have what is those third parties that are crossing path right there. I just want to make sure I clarify so you understand what they're doing, because that's what they're doing. What they do, where they do it, and the moment that they, meaning the timing, all right? This is demonic. This is what you're paying attention to. It is currently 9:07 a.m. States Fake Sun at the Fontana Metrolink train station. Understand, I'm getting off of Route 66. And so you have what is the States Fake Sun that is at Sierra and Marigold, where I have not even approached this vantage point yet, all right? And this is what the state is always doing. Stalking with directed light 1404974, 1330. Moving as I start walking, Omnitrans Route 19, license plate 1535630. I'm sorry, 603. All right, they stay at the bus stall where they're parked on the opposite side. The moment I start walking past, then they move from the bus stall, okay? That's stalking with light, and directed light is on the sidewalk beside them. I've shown you the light where you're looking at the rims that are appearing at a distance, just like that demon I showed you walking in the alley in Upland under the fake sun. And his shadow is appearing at a distance away from him. His shadow is on his left side, and his shadow's on his right side, and you're seeing another shadow appear in the directed light that's in the sand beside him at a distance. This is analogous to what they're doing with directed light using the buses. All right, the reflection of their rims. That's impossible light activity. This is what the state is doing. This is terrorism by Omnitrans, using those commercial vehicles to do so, using them to engage with peculiarized light under the fake sun. That's audible activity in directed light. This is a demon monitoring with the third parties who are group stalking as well. That's license 1404974, bus 1330, Route 61. All right, and the other Route 66, 1399984, that's the one that I got off of, and he is going to the, he's parked at the bus stall now, I believe. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's bus 1270. All right, so you're listening to what is audible activity, okay? This is P.O.C, 9:08 a.m., and these same demons that I've shown you when they're walking around with double, triple shadows and directed light, they're sitting under directed light right now, monitoring with communication devices while Omnitrans creates ongoing activity, and while Omnitrans is creating what is a terrorizing environment while directed light is all over the asphalt while they're driving around, okay? That's activity creation in that environment that's deliberately created. It's 9:09 a.m. It's P.O.C. They're on the surveillance cameras of bus number 1330 monitoring, Route 61. On the surveillance cameras of, again, 1270, the bus that I was on, that was P.O.C. And Route 19, etc., as I'm documenting these buses, they are on surveillance cameras. The venues themselves, in other words, maintain surveillance cameras, so I want to make sure I document that as well. Which I've already spoken to before, but I just want to be clear, you're looking at them engaging in the pattern of conduct, and what they're doing is inspired by the environment that they're in. As I'm present, they're in relevant position. And so, like I was spelling out, the fact that the States Fake Sun is over what is south of this location, Sierra and Marigold, right over the piercing over the edge, right over my head, with the fake sun at that Starbucks and the Kaiser Permanente, which are venues where this demonic activity under federal stalking is underway. Okay, and I want to be clear, 2 hours ahead of that time, and this is what you're paying attention to. That's just another way of understanding what the state is doing, blatant stalking. But of course, I've already established this. I'm just letting you know I'm still documenting up in public library, and I don't have to be there because that's clearly not the sun that is maintaining presence in perfect alignment with me. And you're looking at what is not sunlight. That's not natural light activity. And that was never the sun that I've documented day in and day out over my head in that what was not sunlight in the city of Ontario. So you're looking at what are these cities as venues, if you will, if you look at a macro level, bigger and bigger picture. All right, Route 14, bus 1350, they're all on camera. Directed light beside the bus, 1535604. That's called crossing path under the fake sun. Alrighty, it is currently 9:10 a.m. I am at Sierra Avenue in Orange Way. State's fake sun is right above. 6EGX 665, 7HCS 466, 8VOW 250, 6ZVC 983, 8SZL 673, 1650 8Y2, 7THT 848, 8XNZ 755. All right, license 8NHJ706. And the shadow of that bus driven by the African-American that you see in my video as she's crossing path now. I'm starting my podcast immediately after capturing that video at 9:13 a.m. The shadow is reaching in front of these cars that are right here on my side, okay? All right, monitoring Metrolink. Giving an example of the demon possessed, 7MSK705, 7CLW539. You know these are psychopaths. You're looking at the entirely demented environment. These are the same psychopaths, just like I spoke to in my video, that are stalking in bathroom stalls, including Metrolink. That's a sex offender. They're not separate. The state is sounding train activity inside of those venues. While the state is aiming directed light, you're aiding a sex offender, and Metrolink's going to be prosecuted as a sex offender. You're going to recall while I'm on the bus yesterday, and you don't hear a peep from Metrolink on the bus. This is the entity that is expressing hostility while they're engaging in activity creation under a fake sun and indirected light. Metrolink is going to be prosecuted, and it is a sex offender. All right, this is the legal concept to be applied. 8NIZ311, 7JCA801. Demon possessed stalker driving license plate 1387137. All right, that's Omnitrans. Arizona BRT 3619, 8TQV044, 6MLN983, 7UJC791, and they're all touching. This is a gigantic demonic orgy. You're going to prosecute for sexual violence. 8RNZ261, 8SAL612, 8LOV579, 8RQE058. 8WKG411, 8WNA969, 95892F2, 7FMK973, 8EKB976, 8S44973, 8KKW762, 6FER000, 8XPN642, 8LOK502. Come on, Satan. This bald-headed demon. License plate AMQUEDA. Directed light on the pass on the driver's side, 65738V2, and the shadow of the vehicle on the passenger side, 7UDY260. All right, 9:18 a.m. This is P.O.C. And you're understanding what is the criminal elements, and with regard to providing the analysis of the conduct of any stalker that is touching, 72101E3. You have what is demonic activity underway by a stalker that is a public entity that is touching corporately. They're engaging in a criminal system together. All right, this is translated into what is sexual violence the stalker is touching, okay? Stalking in an environment that is entirely centered around your location, your presence, and they are corporately touching together. This is the analogous orgy by the demonic. They don't have any right to touch while they are stalking at that. BBELL, 8RFB630, 7STX326, 7NYP458, 8RTP884, 03237C2, 8JSB842, I'm sorry, 482, 8SDX735, 8JPC667. FedEx is crossing path at Sierra and Arrow. License 7YBJ042, 7GLD153. And this is the touching and the group touching, all right, by a public entity that's practicing what is demonic conduct, but you're going to understand what the demonic are doing. And you are bringing that conduct, which is entirely perverted, all right? It is unlawful. It is a violation of the ordinary sensibilities of the target individual. It is equally unwarranted and that which is not consented to while you are stalking representing the government, okay? You have nothing but an overweight third-party group stalker creating massive light activity while her body is moving under the fake sun, playing music on her phone, a communication device in operation. That's P.O.C. All right? License AKSX072. It is in peculiarized light from Fontana Metrolink train station and Metrolink itself. That's what I'm documenting on video. Route 66 is maintaining presence on Orange Way with hazard lights. 7KFS433. This is the maintenance of light around the perimeter, okay? There is no form. The fake sun is over them. You're not operating a bus line. You're engaging in demonic activity. License 7MNW084. You're engaging in federal stalking. 7WJU772. 69631E2. 8VMP901. 8FPH367. 4THS897. 8JOL943. It's 9:20 a.m. States fake sun nowhere near what I clearly capture those demon possessed at the First United Methodist Church in Upland, where it's right over my head and they're monitoring with kids. 8SYB706 molesting with kids, all right? Stalking with kids. 8XAP243. And the state's fake sun is glaring over that non-church. It's not a real church. It's demonic. 2928 6A3. 8PSP778 7VVF 492 YP27932 8CNG 619. All right, what else are you remembering? The state's fake sun was just over me last week, like I said, and I'm going to continue because you need to understand that it's not separate. This is ongoing documentation of stalking with light, which the state has been engaged in for years, unbeknownst to me. That's how I'm able to capture the state's fake sun on May 23rd, 2018, directly over my head in the city of Upland at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, while I'm talking to Upland police who are monitoring me. 8HKK519, 6PDB892, 8MNZ262, ULR3529. That's a Virginia plate. That's how I'm able to do that. All right. You have what is the state's fake sun, and what I'm going to remind you of is the fact that the state's fake sun is not coincidentally remaining over me. And what is the city of that's Palmdale, Los Angeles County, excuse me. That is revealing what I documented the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department engaging in under that which is not the sun. Okay? So if you want to posit, it's the absence of coincidence. It is a phenomenon. Okay? In other words, this is absolutely spectacularly amazing that the actual sun would be over my head in that county at the same time that I'm capturing it over my head in Fontana while the demon possessed of the Fontana Police Department are crossing path. License 8HEC996 1475378. That's Fontana PD. License 4ZKV964 62845W2. All right, you have what is engagement in what is demonic activity by law enforcement. Those are state actors. Omnitrans represents what are commercial actors, okay? This is what I'm documenting. What Omnitrans is engaging in, using what is their outward appearance. I'm driving a bus, so I'm going to be at the bus station and I'm going to use my hazard lights. That's what Edison is doing under the fake sun, turning on their hazard lights, pulling up a sewer. They can pull up anything, okay? You can do the same thing while you are unloading mail, turning on your hazards under the fake sun and engineered light. This is exactly what I'm revealing that the entity is engaging in that which is in a totally demented environment. This is the practicing of terrorism while satanic activity is underway by an entity. An entity is going to be dissected by its status, okay? You're either a government actor, or you are a third party acting vicariously. You're a third party and acting in whatever capacity you have, using your business, all right, using your trade, using your venue where you live. That's what 325 West G Street is doing, all right? Monitoring with her kids, monitoring, using the lights inside of her home. That's called a venue anyway. The state's fake moon documented the state's fake sun during the days there. You have what is directed light on the surfaces of her venue. You have what is the state talking about plane and helicopter. There is no First Amendment protection. They are not acting in individual capacities. You're not operating a business. Omnitrans 1590824 is a sex offender touching under the state's fake sun. The same with 26864L2 HCI. Okay, this is the demon possessed that are stalking, and they're going to be prosecuted as the violent sex offenders that they are, having a serious issue with what is molesting and touching and violating the person. And I want to be clear, this is basic. This is actually fundamental to what is demonic. All right, this is of Satan. It is evil. It's perverted. It is every bad thing that you can fathom. And I'm revealing it in an operation. And this is that which is of the demonic. And so it is first starting with the awareness that you are surrounded with demonic activity. All right, 8SXL813. 8GMB151, including driving a United States Postal Service vehicle, which I continue to document those government actors engaging in. 7SUU036, 8RKF434, 7UWM221, 7GJA727, 6CWX221, 7MVW313, 18565E3, 4KCF768. It's 9:25 a.m. 8G85970, Air Tech Services, license 1014259, using a commercial vehicle to engage in sexual violence. They're engaging in federal stalking, engaging in threatening the life of an American citizen, in concert with the people of the state, engaging in facilitation of that conduct, and is a sex offender, all right? That company engaging in what is sexual violence, monitoring an American citizen. 6HLB228, XP18273, 1DSW360, I think I read that one. That's P.O.C. This is ENC Logistics, US.3001401. All right, license 7CTB091, 7KIU489. Common sense dictates that's never the sun. That's directly over the Upham Public Library, by the way. 8LPV538. You don't even have to go all the way to Palmdale, but I'm just showing this is the totality of that documentation where the state is keeping its fake sun over the Ontario Open Family Community Library, okay? At my entrance and at my exit. 7UHP215, 226TD, 13802H3, 8SZTO69, 6VSZ897, 56153Y2. 6VDY253, 8RJH462. It's 9:27 a.m. And so you're going to continue with that analysis, that line of reasoning. This is not the sun that I'm capturing clearly over my head inside of the Upham Public Library. It's 9:27. The state's fake sun is directly over me at the intersection of Orange Way and Sierra while I'm documenting the demons in that demented environment, intentionally maintained to be around me while they're all touching together, monitoring with communication devices together, stalking together, engaging in life-threatening conduct. This is terrorism. That's exactly what's underway at Upham Public Library, while this same fake sun is not both over this intersection and over the ceiling of that library, okay? 8LLB286, and the state keeps it on D Street, okay? Keeps it there all day long, remember that. Keeps it from the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid, 8LIX649, which is up the block, like I said, less than 500 feet away, on the same block. That in and of itself, there are so many ways to look at this, and so I think this is clearly understood. The state is stalking with light, and you're prosecuting a sex offender because these demon-possessed actors in this environment are in bathroom stalls stalking. That is Satan, stalking in a bathroom stall. 7RG and 326, stalking in a bathroom stall. They're one entity. 4JK and 607. Amazon Prime, FedEx, United States Postal Service, Omnitrans. Okay, these commercial actors, these government actors, the Fontana Police Department, they're in bathroom stalls stalking an American citizen, engaging in that obsessive stalking activity inside of a private space. All right, federal laws placing a haven of legislation around that private space where that stalker wants to follow you inside. You're going to be that's a whole other level of a sex offender and prosecution for that. And it's not indiscriminate. The entire entity is going to be prosecuted for that government conduct that they're participating in. 8TZD523. That is the nature, by the way, and that is the repercussions of group conduct. 7WZW998, 7HAD638, 6 BNW835, 8URX386, and this is what is ongoing, by the way. It's the state's pattern of conduct, and the state is stalking you in the bathroom, acting via the demon possessed, all right? The third parties, that is, the vicarious aspect that's entering inside of that private space in that deliberately maintained environment. That's a very, very perverted and predatory sex offender, and that's why the state is filling the venue of the Upham Public Library,
all right, while I'm there underneath that fake sun, all right, with what is directed light. License BL71A60. That's a A60. That's a paper plate. 8AFV747. 7MAP352. 6VPF120. 75568P1. 8MUL080. 8HKK924. And this is the other, and this is a matter of justice. This is what's required because this is what the entity is doing. And this is the false premise that this conduct would be it would never be found out, if you will. It would be 6NOJ250. You have what is the inability, the assumption that there is the inability to ever prosecute it. All right. And the presumption that anyone claiming this sort of allegation that strangers are stalking them, because this is how the ordinary target individual would exactly describe it. People that they don't know, they have an instinct, they have an impulse, like they have some sort of radar, however you want to put, and they suspect and imprudently reporting it to someone who was a third party and or state actor, stating the fact that they know that people that they don't know are following them, not knowing why, not even knowing how to explain that or rationalize that, but knowing, yeah, this is what is going on. No documentation, no ability to break that down and make it make sense, because even on its surface, that is very broken up information. And upon my realization of it, I immediately understand, oh, you need evidence to demonstrate that this is a reality, and this cannot be only happening to me. This is something that needs to be addressed and revealed. All right, no longer maintained as a secret. I can't even fathom what the ordinary target individual who is subject to this, there is no law to address it. It's intentionally maintained as a fallacy. Criminal defamation is a pattern of conduct, obstruction of justice. All right, this is the pattern of conduct that is showing what is the psychopath, where the psychopath wants to falsely depict the target individual as being a schizophrenic. All right, but you have what are schizophrenics that are engaging in the stalking conduct. And let me be clear, that's what Satan does. Satan is a sex offender and will point his finger at you and call you a predator. Satan is a psychopath, all right, and a stalker, and will point his finger at you and say that you are the one that's crazy. That's demonic. I want to let you know that's the pattern of conduct. 8QC 188. 7ERG 661. But for documentation, and documentation is demon proof, okay? And there is 7WNM 922. No religious protection. There is no First Amendment violation for prosecution for what is terrorism. All right. And you can both reveal the fact that this is demonic activity. I'm identifying demon-possessed actors. This is demonic activity. 5XKX728 is a demon-possessed stalker. They're in a demonic environment. And let me be clear, spiritually speaking, that's objective, all right? But that might be an oxymoron for that because you're talking about spiritually speaking. But I just want to be clear, this is the reality of what is ongoing. I'm revealing what are the demon-possessed, operating what is an entirely demonic system. While they are all together in a demonic environment, that's not a coincidence. I'm revealing demon possession, and it is rampant demon possession. But in addition to that, I am speaking to what is the absolute constitutional practice and ability to prosecute the demon possessed for engaging in criminal conduct. It's referred to as federal stalking, because while they're engaging in criminal activity, light, relevant positioning, and activity creation, this is demonic activity that they're engaging in while they're monitoring with communication devices, which I have also already demonstrated. This is exactly what they're doing. While they're stalking with activity, stalking with light, and stalking as a group, it's demonic activity, and they are engaging what is terrorism while they're maintaining this demonic presence altogether, which is how demons act. They act as a pack, outwardly conducting themselves like they're separate beings going about their jobs, driving down the street, right, appearing outwardly like this is ordinary normalcy, all right, innocuous. They're of one demonic mindset. I mean, you're talking about systematic demonic conduct underway, stalking with the noise, stalking with light, the systematic creation of that environment or maintenance of that environment amongst that which appears on the outside like it's totally separate. That's demonic activity. And that's what the people of the state, that's what their condition is. And that's what I've documented as I am subject to it. I am revealing who are the demon possessed. You need to know that condition. And that's going to be relevant to whatever it is that they do for a living, to whoever it is that is in their lives. I'm speaking to the protection of children. I'm speaking to engaging in the practice of law enforcement. They have no business in that field. All right, they're criminals and they're demon-possessed psychopaths who engage in a pattern of conduct of kidnapping. Just like Fontana Police with license 1559482, that Caucasian Caucasian male driving by in a law enforcement vehicle, engaging in terrorism, not only because they're representing law enforcement engaging in federal stalking with the people of the state, because they are demonstrating what is demon possession in that environment. This is terrorism in both ways, all right? License 6SPG 181, 7XIP 962, 8WHH 255. All right, and you're going to be clear, it is currently 9:34 a.m. and the state's fake sun is remaining right here at the corner while the demon-possessed are patrolling, including the government actors, commercial actors, and these third-party actors who are in their vehicles as I'm identifying demons by name, all right? These demons are engaging in criminal conduct. It's called federal stalking with communication devices, 4ASCO61. It's 9:35 a.m., that's P.O.C. I'm sorry, 52253E2. 52253E2. That is DZ, the quality truck accessory people. They're the demon-possessed stalking people with the government. Directed light to the driver's side on the street, enlarged shadow to the passenger side. 6HDW944, 7YGL373, I believe. It is 9:36 a.m. ZAW 695. Fontana Police crossing path again. 8RKJ 306. Fontana Police is group stalking at the intersection of Valencia and Sierra. All right, 9:37 a.m. 278. 4082. 8 MOR 572, excuse me. Captured video as I read the license plate, as I saw Fontana PD, I read the license plate of the Fontana PD. Understand this is demonic activity. The demon possessed are not in any way separated by their status, meaning in a vehicle versus a mail courier vehicle versus your own Honda Accord, okay? They're only separate. This is in the natural. You're looking at them in different modes of crossing path. In the demonic, they're one entity and there's no separation from that. And so I'm revealing what is demonic activity and that demon-possessed stalker of the Fontana Police Department crossing path, and repeatedly so. All right, and so I did capture video of that. It's 9:38 a.m. And you'll see what is the fake sun that is moving in real time as I move, speaking to the stalking conduct of the Fontana Police, and that's terrorism. While they're engaging in federal stalking, doing so, engaging in federal stalking, representing law enforcement, is that which is unlawfully intended to intimidate, to threaten, and to terrorize. You have what is also the outward demonstration of demonic possession, engaging in demonic activity, representing law enforcement. That is terrorism. Okay, and that's what I documented right now, again on video. Fontana PD engaging in that under the fake sun, which is documented, by the way, over the same street over my head, while that same mail carrier, United States Postal Service, is stalking in the path, while the fake sun is over me in the afternoon, in the morning, right? Let alone the fact that it would never be present anyway, while it's remaining over the Upland Public Library. That's supposedly the sun, okay? And it's clearly not. This is speaking to what is the stalking activity of the entity, acting by government actors such as United States Postal Service, such as the Fontana Police Department, such as the Rancho Cucamonga Police Department, which is the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, by the way. They're kidnappers. And so is the Fontana Police Department. They were engaged in kidnapping as they were monitoring me while I was kidnapped by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. All right, it is 9:40 a.m. 7NLR739, 8PHW677, 8LJA278, 5SJH080, 6SXK226, 47025, QEEEEEN, and I don't think so. She's a stalker. That's what she is. Not a queen. ATKJ064. No queens or kings or stalking people or engaging in demonic activity. 7YMM128. You are the bottom of the barrel. You're the cockroaches of humanity. That's what the demon possessed are. DELEAN 7XMM648. Entirely depraved, stalking someone that they don't even personally know, but understand that demonic entity is very well familiar. That's why you have the identical stalking activity underway. United States Postal Service Group stalking Fontana Chamber of Commerce, 66026B1, 8BDK783, DT388, that's an African American male driving with a handicap license plate. United States Postal Service maintaining peculiarized light at the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. Understand the video that I captured of the city of Fontana doing the exact same thing under the exact same fake sun. That's what United States Postal Service is doing right now. Alrighty, got some good material showing these demons and all the taxes that they engage in. Doesn't matter that it's a different zip code. It's the same demonic entity, the same public entity acting at another venue, if you will. City of Fontana. 39075D1. 7TEU 758, 8W95544 Edison, 4TYJ 477 1159771. They're in the same exact fakes under the fake sun in directed light. That's City of Fontana, by the way. The same exact fake sun in directed light that I just showed the video of Omnitrans engaging in. All right, this is not identifying one individual actor. All right, and Omnitrans is analogous to an individual. They're one commercial actor. All right, when you're prosecuting an entity, you have what is corporate engagement in that conduct. And what United States Postal Service was doing, analogous to the same conduct that I captured City of Fontana doing under the same fake sun, maintaining peculiarized light and relevant position in that deliberately maintained environment. Demonic activity by state actors, USPS and City of Fontana. CCT 3145. That is terrorism while they are stalking, okay? These are demons that are using municipality vehicles, using law enforcement vehicles, using venues that belong to the state, such as Fontana Chamber of Commerce. I've showed you the state's directed light. Those demons of the Fontana Chamber have double and triple shadows, okay? This is P.O.C. It's demonic activity. 6EUZ259, 8MGU104, 5SXD367, 6NLH303, Spectrum 32042G2, BT88W14. It is 9:46 a.m. KAU 982. PQE 220. What you want to pay attention to is not only am I showing, I have literally broken down all of the demon's little secrets, okay? There are no secrets anymore. I've blasted that. And that was my dual focus, not only to prosecute, but to prescribe. And I want you to pay attention to what's psychopath. Because while I'm documenting this demonic actor, understand this is, you're dealing with Satan. You're encountering Satan as I am literally capturing it on video. Satan is not what you're going to see. Satan is a spirit. Satan is acting in concert over a group of people at the same time. That's what demonic activity is. And let me be clear. That video that I'm capturing of demonic activity in a commercial vehicle, all right, you're talking about a psychopath that is acting like she's just driving down the street, driving a bus, and it's everyday life, like she doesn't know that her secrets are being understand that they do. You're looking at a psychopath, all right? They're in an unnatural environment, engaging in unnatural conduct. You are not exercising any First Amendment rights, operating a business, or just driving an everyday bus. I've shown you the environment and the intentional presence that they are maintaining in that environment to surround me. Okay, that's the opposite of coincidence. So what are you looking at? You're looking at a psychopath that is just acting oblivious to my presence. That's the psychopath. Okay, that's what you saw again in that video. I want you to pay attention to that because that is the P.O.C. That's Satan. That is how Satan acts. But let me be clear. I've also captured plenty of the true character of Satan when he gets out of character, acting hostile, engaging in harassment, because that's the true nature. All right. But when they're in their role, understand there's no deception there. There's no form. They don't have any act. You're looking at the psychopath that's trying to keep a straight face. In other words, that's a psychopath. You are stalking. You're clearly stalking. You are literally engaging in demonic activity, and that is literally shown objectively. What I'm showing you is demonic. What they're doing, the environment they're doing it, it's demonic, and that is demonstrated. I have shown you in objective evidence. You can see with your own eyes. You're looking at what is a psychopath. That one. What else are you going to do other than act like you don't know that I'm there? Because I'm showing some pretty damning evidence, okay? That's a psychopath. I want you to pay attention to that. 8JTT476, 8LXL506, 8LZW328, 8TUM015, BU98N87 paper, 6DQK346, 6MMG694, 8GMC474. It is the same thing when you're looking at these Fontana Police Department, well, any law enforcement, but I'm just speaking to today. As I'm capturing them on video, I'm revealing the demon possessed, okay? And these are literally the demon possessed actors that are just wearing police uniforms, okay? And in that regard, there's nothing special about them. They're the demon possessed. They happen to be wearing Fontana Police Department. This is what you're understanding, the difference. Demonic activity has nothing to do with any of these statuses that we rely on as human beings. It's demonic activity underway, all right? And they are wearing law enforcement uniforms. As far as prosecuting criminal conduct by a public entity, oh, that's relevant. But let me break down, demonic activity isn't limited on your age, on what your job is. No, Satan is using you and in that position to engage in the deeds of the devil, all right? And let me be clear, you're looking at what are psychopaths, driving straight up and down the street like they're just going about their day, doing justice, and they're stalking someone. That's a psychopath. It's the same conduct. You're looking at the environment. There is no argument for it. I've shown you what is ongoing, and you pay attention to how they are outwardly conducting themselves. You're witnessing a psychopath, and you're going to prosecute the psychopath by the environment and the behavioral pattern, the P.O.C. itself. You will never get the truth out of a psychopath. All right, but law enforcement itself, they don't even have an argument. I mean, they can't even with a straight face. I mean, that is a very well punctuated point with regard to the prosecution of the state itself. And with regard to the people of the state, the vicarious aspect, that's what I have gone the extra link to show what is vicarious action and ceaselessly and equally demonic. Okay, very, very disturbing. All right, so no way limited by numbers. It is 9:51 a.m. This is P.O.C. at Fontana Lewis Library. All right, 10:02 a.m. I did capture the state's fake sun, which is over the venue, and you're going to pay attention. I understand these are the detailed notes of chronicling literally a psychopath. This is demonic activity, and understand demon possession is a psychopath that you are encountering. While they are outwardly conducting themselves as though they're normal, this is the one that is hiding what their issues are. And with regard to what is the nature of demonic activity, this is what is underway. This is what is the condition, the shared condition of an entity, as I'm revealing the demonic activity that they're practicing together. And I captured what is the state's fake sun, which again, you're going to remember in this video. This is the fake sun. It's the same fake sun that the state suddenly just covered up as I'm on the property of the Fontana Lewis Library, not providing any help whatsoever. This is understanding a psychopath that specifically, like I pointed out in my video, specifically wants to avoid documentation for the 10 o'clock hour, all right, that specific hour. But as I documented less than 10 minutes ago, the state's fake sun over me at the same intersection of Arrow and Sierra is the same documentation. This is what I mean by the futility, and you're dealing with a mental condition that is very, very, very demented, okay? This is the nature of demonic conduct. Pay attention to that sound in the background. That's Metrolink, which you cannot hear on the grounds of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. City of Fontana is monitoring a relevant position to that impossible audible activity, okay? You have what is the state engaging in covering up its fake sun while I'm on the property of the Fontana Lewis Library, while it's directly over my head while I am walking to the library. That is P.O.C. And that is not in any way diminishing the fact that the state's fake sun is documented remaining literally over me in the city of Fontana, in the city of Upland, in the city of Ontario, all right? And it's remaining central over my head. And that's exactly what I captured again, regardless of the state's effort to try to cover up its fake sun. And there's no question about it. I'm capturing it, glaring in its essence, following me up the street, following me while I'm in Rancho. This is everything I pointed out in my video. I'm pointing it out. I'm showing you what is, and understanding and detailing what is the conduct of the demonic, and it is the conduct of a psychopath, okay? That is maintaining awareness of everything that you're saying and literally has nowhere to hide. Documentation is demon proof, okay? It is the venue where the Fontana Lewis Library is. This is a venue. This is what I'm showing, and I've already shown that. The state's fake sun is, as I'm also pointing out in that video, at 10 o'clock in the morning. You have what is the state's fake sun at this venue, and that's also what's going to follow when I'm documenting what is stalking with light everywhere that I'm going. The state is maintaining its environment. All right, so this is just common sense that follows. You have what is the state maintaining its light source over the Fontana Lewis Library that is speaking to what is ongoing at that venue. All right, ongoing terrorism. The demonic environment is maintained inside. All right, the demon possessed are surrounding inside, and you are subject to that system, including inside of the private space. All right, the state's fake sun is over me while I'm standing in that parking lot, and you can still see it regardless of the state trying to cover it up, and that is intentional act of trying to cover it up while I'm on the property of the fund, and it is literally asininity. I've already established the state is stalking with a light source that is not the sun, because you are not remaining, et cetera, et cetera. I've pointed that out. So that's what I want to hone in on, the sex offender, the psychopath, okay? The pattern of conduct is established. I want you to pay attention and understand what is a sex offender, what is a psychopath, and the nature of that legislation in dealing with an entity of that condition, okay? And the criminal conduct, the knowledge with which they're engaging in that criminal conduct that is speaking to the prosecution and justice as it is required. It's 10:06 a.m. and this is P.O.C. It is 11:57 a.m. That is stalking in the restroom at Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. And understand they're maintaining presence in the computer lab. The state is keeping directed light, aiming it horizontally. This is how you get upright shadows on walls as they're walking by, okay? This is an ongoing molestation with directed light. And this is ongoing demonic activity while they're stalking in the path inside of the venue. State's fake sun is over the venue, and you have what is stalking in the bathroom. It's 11:57 a.m. and understand all they're doing is maintaining presence in the path. So you have literally a stalker that is watching me pack up my belongings, and in anticipation, this is the predator in the environment entering inside of the bathroom in order to do so, okay? That's federal stalking in the private space. It's 11:58 a.m. This is P.O.C. at Fontana Lewis. And I'm referencing the surveillance cameras because all you're looking at is maintenance of presence in that venue and ongoing stalking with activity. What they're doing, you're looking at demons that are engaging in ongoing concerted activity, outwardly appearing separate, going about their business of one demonic mindset, engaging in criminal conduct, and are engaging in what is demonic activity. This is terrorism, while they are all honing in on one individual. This is what the P.O.C. is. And it's on surveillance cameras. I walked to the restroom. It's 11:58 a.m. All right, ongoing terrorism as I am documenting it at State Facility and Venue Fontana Lewis Library, where the demonic are maintaining presence, corporately engaging in stalking with audible activity, ongoing creation of audible activity while the demons are simultaneously crossing path in directed light. Okay, so I want to spell out what is on the surveillance cameras and what they are engaging in. And this is terrorism, because this is the state's pattern of conduct, and this is what the people and the entity is doing on a ceaseless basis. And this is that which is demented conduct engaged in on a ceaseless basis at all times, at all places, by the group that is a massive group, the people of the state and a government. Okay, this is terrorism while you are in what is a demented and unnatural environment. And so I want to be clear, you have what are the patrons that are present, maintaining presence and stationary presence in the computer lab. And inside of the library, first of all, is all in relevant position. But I want to be clear, the methods of engaging in the combining elements of light activity, relevant positioning as you are moving around in the path, and audible activity creation. So you have what is utilizing what are the employees of the venue as they are pushing around their book carts. Remember, the venue is a library, so you have what is demonic activity that is taking on that outward form, appearing as though they are engaging in something relative to what the circumstances are going to call for. And they are all in directed light. This is why there is no form. Okay, so you have what is pushing around their book carts and doing so with simultaneity to my activity on a communication device. For example, as I am on Facebook engaging in editing that page, and I'm on this page for a long time, so as I engage in a change in activity, meaning I stop
engaging in long time activity on Facebook. The moment I close that and go to a different page, engage in activity on my website, this is when the employee, the same one who I documented engaging in harassment at this venue while I'm being molested with directed light, and the fake sun is over their venue. I documented this on podcast. The same exact actor, as a matter of fact, is already positioning her presence, right? The book card is in alignment with me where I'm sitting at FONPL number 3. And you have what is pushing that book card, which is amplified audible activity. All right, you're in a computer lab, you're in a library, it's supposedly quiet. I'm telling you, this is not the case where you are engaging in a demonic activity, first of all, and where they're stalking with activity. This activity is designed to facilitate criminal conduct, which is occurring on a corporate basis. So you have everything that is louder, including the opening and closing of doors. So this is one method. I just want to speak to that. And they are pushing it in alignment with me where I'm sitting at the computer. Understand it, even if I wasn't sitting at FONPL number 3, and I was sitting in at one of the different computer labs. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, a different computer lab or a different computer in the same library. It would be the same maintenance of this alignment to my presence with this ongoing amplification. That's what amplification of audible activity serves. So you can have one that is going to be in the path while ongoing noise is occurring. And this is also the uncanny ability to stalk with, that is follow with, mirror with your activity physically and that which is occurring on the internet, on a communication device, okay? This is the demonic conduct that is centered around technology, centered around what you're doing on communication devices. This is demonic conduct while they're engaging in federal stalking. So you have what is the employee pushing a book cart. This is a means of audible activity. This loud book cart, she's pushing on the hardwood floor, does so with simultaneity to my getting off of Facebook. She's monitoring, and she's also engaging in terrorism. This is demonic activity. And pushing that book cart, already having it present, she just comes around the corner. She's already there. Understand, they're all focused on you. This is the entire unprecedented threat while you're surrounded by demons, and I'm just going to prosecute, and I'm showing you by documentation what they are engaging in systematically. So you have what is already positioning and engaging in immediately pushing this book cart and assigning a task to another librarian who's sitting in the computer lab. Okay, whatever. The elements are present, and this is what they are engaging in. And another example would be the engagement in the same conduct, okay? And you're understanding what is demonic activity. It's the same entity, a different face, okay? In the same way with regard to the public entity, it is the government. It's the same entity with through the multiplicity of faces. That's what vicarious presence is, all right? It's the state's pattern of conduct, and the state is engaging in what is demonic activity. And so anyway, you have what is the same conduct with a different face. And this is, as opposed to using a book cart, you have what is the janitors, the female janitors pushing their large little, I guess you would call those like their, I don't know, their little, I don't want to call it a wagon, but like their little equipment case pushing a trash can and their little buckets and stuff. It's a means of noise, okay? And it is in that same position, coming around the corner with simultaneity to what I'm doing, changing an activity on my, on the computer. I'm not on I'm on the desktop computer. And so this is the same conduct, okay? And then you have what is maintaining activity inside of the bathroom. And what you're hearing is loud toilet flushing inside of the bathroom. That's amplification, okay? Everything you're doing in the bathroom is now heard throughout the entirety of the room. This is P.O.C. You have what is supposed to be sounding like a slamming toilet, all right? And I just want to be clear, that is also artificial activity. Or she's revealing that she is a psychopath and they're slamming stuff, because the toilet seats are not loose such that you can push them down and slam them like that. They're tightly screwed in. You have to use force to push down the toilet seats. And I know this because they're always up and I try to push them down. And they don't just fall down like that. But you're hearing loud banging inside of the bathroom as though she's slamming down toilet seats, which regardless is out of character for being in the bathroom. Everything is loud. Okay, I'm just spelling out what are the tactics they're engaging in while the elements are being maintained. It's audible activity in directed light, all right, while you're maintaining presence in the path and using that outward form of cleaning a bathroom, walking toward the bathroom while you're making noise and doing so in directed light, which is all the elements of monitoring. Okay, and then what is another tactic? Utilizing the very patrons who are third-party group stalkers, the same demonic entity, who are maintaining presence in the path, walking in alignment, maintaining this presence, looking at bookshelf, looking at whatever, they're coming in and asking, oh, can you help me? I'm trying to do some research. I need help. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's relevant positioning. They're in directed light. They are also engaging in coming to inquire, coming to use whatever it is available in the venue, computer, print, something, whatever it is that they're doing. It really is irrelevant. It is used as a means of maintaining noise and directed light while they are stalking in the path. Okay? And they are doing it also to that same demonic rhythm, if you will, using it to stalk with activity. These are demons that are sitting around waiting for the opportunity to engage in that conduct. Okay, this is how you are with simultaneity. It's not an ongoing coincidence. It's a pattern, all right, of the demon possessed while they are monitoring with communication devices. And you have what is walking in the path while they are amplifying the sound of the blender of the little cafe. All right, the same one that they're amplifying through the walls. I documented that. You cannot hear that through the walls in the bathroom. That's called amplification. In the same way that the toilet seats are not so loud, nor are they actually falling that loosely to where they're slamming and it's disturbing outside of the bathroom. All right, this is the P.O.C. Okay, they can go in there and loosen the toilet seats now and make them such that they will fall like that and make loud noise. It is the entity that is a psychopath that's listening to me document and apply common sense to their conduct that they're engaging in on a constant basis. Okay, you have what is the ongoing combination of those elements. Third parties surrounding in the path while you're amplifying the sound of noise, and the noise is going to be attributed to what is the sound of the blender that is so loud it's disturbing the supposedly quiet environment at the computer lab. All right, it's called amplification of P.O.C. while you're in directed light, stalking in the path. I want to be clear, those are three different methods of doing the exact same thing, maintaining audible activity. They're all moving around in directed light, right? And they are in the path in relevant position doing so. All right, that's what is terrorism, or you're looking at what is the maintenance of the elements, and this is ongoing inside of the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library. It's 1:16 p.m. and that's P.O.C.
All right, it is 2:49 p.m. Documenting the ongoing pattern of conduct. This is terrorism at Fontana Lewis Library while the demon-possessed are engaging in federal stalking. 7SJW 684. Fontana Police 1492632. That is vehicle number 2. Crossing path as I exit the building, monitoring with the rest of them. And that's the same terrorism that is ongoing inside of the venue. As I document on podcasts, which the demonic are all together corporately monitoring. All right, all of them are in there maintaining presence in the path, engaging in demonic activity. So as I am documenting and publishing the acts of terrorism by the demon possessed, you have what is increasing, heightening that conduct, making more and more noise. You have what is the janitors, the female janitors patrolling in and out. And this is on surveillance cameras, acting with Fontana Police, 8SUG 514, 8VJJ 901. You have what is increasing that loud noise making. Understand the significance of it is not merely just being annoying. That is for purposes of understanding what is the elements of monitoring. This is audible activity in directed light. And the state is engaging in its tactic of hiding its fake sun, which is not hidden. I showed you the state's fake sun right over my head. EO97WO. It does not cease to exist and remain over this, and this is already a matter of documentation, not only over Fontana Lewis Library, but also the stalking in general with the fake sun. All right, so there is no deviation from the P.O.C. And the state is engaging and aiming its directed light inside of the venue and hiding its fake sun over the venue, which is currently present. All right, it is currently 2:51 p.m. And this is ongoing P.O.C. This is what is speaking to the impermissible threat while they're engaging in terrorism. Increasing that act of, this is threatening conduct by the demon possessed, understand, and this is the conduct of demons, increasing that conduct that they are listening to you document. So you have more of what is noise making. Understand the term of art where the monitoring with communication devices and demonic activity is underway. It's called audible activity, and doing so while expressing hostility. 8KZH975 7DNP 949. 8VKS310, 7TGR368, 7MSL329, 7NMC452. And what I'm documenting with regard to the sex offenders that are engaging in sexual violence, maintaining presence in the path, understand in the same way that that demon-possessed actor of the Fontana Police Department, with knowledge of my stepping out into the parking lot, that's exactly what they're doing in the bathroom, okay? That's not the app, that's no coincidence. The environment is deliberate. This demon, 5NQC623, has a whole other rest of the road, is stopping right behind me with headlights aimed on me. This is P.O.C. And under the state's subdued fake sun, understand what they're doing with their vehicles. MY6FOH, okay? This is why you have what is the patrolling in the parking lot. They are supplementing what that would be the fake sun directly over my head. All right, the state's fake sun is directly over the building. It's subdued. Just like I showed you at Starbucks yesterday, it was present and it was right there over the edge, ready to be unveiled at the state's discretion. All right, but the fake sun is here, and I've already documented what the state is doing with its fake sun. It's never going to coexist, being over, for just one example, the Upland Public Library and the Fontana Lewis Library. I already published this. All right. So while I have already established what this entity is doing, I'm speaking to what is the stalking conduct and the sex offender that includes the Fontana Police Department. This is why you have what is crossing the path as I'm in the parking lot. That's not coincidence. They're stalking. And that's exactly what they're doing in the bathroom. And this demonic entity is engaging in increased levels of harassment. This is terrorism while they're monitoring their documentation. Doing so through the third parties and specifically the female janitors. They're Spanish-speaking ladies, demon-possessed females that are engaging in the P.O.C. And they are in the same way right now, swarming around in the parking lot. These are all demon-possessed actors. They're all engaging in demonic activity. 6UQV062, 8PNJ377, 8ADH024. That's what they're doing inside. 8KLY626, 5POC 509, 7AXC 739, 8PLG154, 8KCF 573, 7PKG 070, 8F79457, 7PBH 151, 2858, 5S1, 8MNK 829, 8GNS 975, 8JQW 728, 7FFW 134, 4MAY 616, 35890W2, 6WJN 584, 8MLH 816, 7WJN 584, 2MRTN 73, 5ANU 321, Peculiarized Light under the state's fake sun. All right, and the state's fake sun is right over the Fontana Chamber of Commerce parking lot. 8KZH975. Understand what Fontana Police and what the rest of these minions are doing as well, okay? It's 6PNW893. Allison Mechanical Incorporated. And that is likely the city of Fontana maintaining a peculiarized light. Allison Mechanical Incorporated, license number 679866, license plate 29360A3. 6WZK560. That is City of Fontana maintaining peculiarized light. All right, I just wanted to give you a visual of the fake sun. 7KRR634, 8JUN847, 7XWR712, 6YFW289, 7LRH913, 8JZL618, 70835H1, 8MRD385, 8RXG561, 7ZIA126, 6BST092, 7RZL763, 7NIU613, and it is, by the way, 2:56 p.m. 3PZW111, 7P.O.C. 876, 5R40770, 8PGE271, 7FCA596, 8AXY313, 81241C2, 44094M2, I think I read that one. 8TFR706, 6YGF754, 8WCV383, 7BNE252, 6PZE400. This is the paper plate, AV87Z29. AV87Z29, that's a paper plate. 7YFG758. And I read this one before, Nevada 445L75, 7ZYB331. While these group stalkers walk inside of the parking garage, their shadows are in front of them, speaking to the fake sun that is right behind them. You're looking at what is that mutated light conduct, where the light source that's above your head, your shadow is somehow pushed in front of you. And then also you have what is this, that's the engineered light, that's door closure. All right, that's an employee. 8WNA960, 7BPS834, 7JAW997, 7MZJ084. 8GMV 430, 6RIS 909, FINCH, 6ENT 269, 8KUA 479, 7VQH 474, 8 PUX 976, 7 BCM 659. And 85110V2. That's City of Fontana. Where did I got them? I got them on video again. 7YBH704. And what you can pay attention to the nuance. I mean, first of all, clearly this isn't the sun. How is it remaining over the ceiling of the Upland Public Library, okay? How is it ever going to be over the vehicle and the window of the windshield, etc., or out the window of the hotel in Palmdale, okay? You have what is the state's fake sun, but let's just use not Upland, Fontana. The state's fake sun, where I'm documenting the demon-possessed of the municipality, City of Fontana, as I capture them. This is at around 10 o'clock in the morning. The state's fake sun is right there over me at Lerner and Sierra, where they're under the fake sun in front of the library. It is 2:59. I just captured video approximately 7 to 8 minutes ago, and the state's fake sun is in the parking lot behind where it was earlier in the day at 10 o'clock in the morning. And the why is because I've moved from my location inside of the library, where the state is also at the same time keeping its fake sun directly above, not in a general placement over the state's fake sun is directly above me as I aim the camera out of the window of the Fontana Lewis Library. Okay, this is crossing the path by demon possessed who's stalking. All right, AV87Z29. That's a Hyundai Elantra. P.O.C. This is speaking to the intentionality of the demon-possessed, what I'm speaking to. This is the conduct, and I'm giving you context as the environment they're in, okay? That's why you have the psychopath in a FedEx vehicle crossing path, 90803G1, all right? That's the same thing the Fontana police are doing, okay? This is the intentional environment, and that's how you know what's wrong with the company that is representing FedEx. All right, this is demon possession. This is entirely demonic activity. And that is FedEx engaging in that demon possession, hostility on behalf of that entity, monitoring with 8CQR323, monitoring with little kids, all right, using them as their form while they're stalking with light under the state's fake sun. All right, with FedEx, understand that the show of hostility by that third party who is monitoring the documentation with which I'm going to deconstruct that company. All right, and you need to know and understand that that's heavy demon possession by FedEx. This one monitoring with the minor as well, 8FUR736. All right, you have what is demonstrating heavy demon possession. In the same way I identified what is the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, okay? That Sheriff's Department, the Ontario Police Department, let me be clear, I'm not gonna mince words, they work for Satan. That is demonic activity that they are engaged. These are psychopaths in law enforcement, and they're going to be disbanded. I am revealing that conduct. I'm revealing that operation. And I want to be clear, it's that same demon possession operating in companies such as FedEx. All right, that's a demon possessed stalker. All right, acting in concert to a demonic impulse while they're engaging in what is demonic activity as I have identified it. And then while they're engaging in monitoring my documentation that they know that I'm publishing, monitoring every word. You have what is engagement in that in an entirely revealing environment, because that's not the sun. And then you have what is the state trying to cover up the fact that the fake sun remains. All right, the actual sun, the glaring, bright fake sun, the subdued fake sun. This is not coexisting. That's P.O.C. That's a psychopath. It is currently 3:02 p.m. Documentation of ongoing terrorism, demonic activity underway at the Fontana Lewis Library. It's a venue, a state facilitating venue. It's P.O.C. All right, I wanted to speak to what is relevant positioning and the demonic activity of the third parties that are surrounding. And again, this is terrorism that's going to follow you inside of the private space. This is the terrorism, the sex offender, the predator that is waiting for you to get up and go into the bathroom, okay? That's what they're doing. And literally as I move, there are a lot of cockroaches that start scattering all around. And the lime green t-shirt, headphones, black face mask, the smell, engaging in repeated, the audible activity is the repeated slamming of the door.
All right. And by slam, I mean this is the amplified sound of the bathroom door. Everything is extraordinarily loud. Okay. This is audible activity used to stalk with noise. Okay. You have what is the housekeeper that's maintaining presence because all of a sudden she's not walking from anywhere. She's already behind. She's just chilling in the computer lab apparently. And as I begin packing up my stuff, she's crossing path and she's on camera, coming over, wiping the desk by me. Understand this is called patrolling around. This is crossing a path. In doing so, using what is her function at this venue in order to do so, patrolling in and out of the bathroom. She's a Latina female with a green t-shirt and a yellow ponytail holder. That bathroom door closure is what is repeatedly ongoing, and it's the males as well. All right. You're looking at what is relevant positioning. They are all maintaining corporate knowledge of what you're doing inside of a private space. All right. And they are also engaging in what is federal stalking utilizing communication devices. It is 5 p.m. and you're looking at what is, and I'm referencing the cameras as well, but I'm speaking to what is the flurry of activity as I log off of web pages and I start packing up my stuff, which they are anticipating. This is manning of the path. This is the sex offender that you're looking at Upland Public Library as well while I'm documenting it. You have them manning the path in the directed light under the fake sun, maintaining presence whatever direction that I may go, stalking inside of the venue, maintaining noise inside of the venue, and engaging in conduct based on what I do as I do it. Okay, it is 5 p.m., 5:01 p.m. So you have another one pushing their little cart, the overweight green t-shirts. All right, their form, there is no form, but what is Satan using for stalking in the path and creating ongoing noise and maintaining presence and stalking in a bathroom? The janitors. All right. This is also with knowledge of what you're what you're documenting, and this is the exact same venue where the state's fake sun is remaining over the literal roof of the building for the duration of the day, and then after that, then remaining over me while I walk to the Fontana Metrolink train station. Okay, this is the same one where the state is keeping its fake sun over this venue after it is at the same exact time documented in the same central location over my head in the city of Palmdale, California, and in the city of Upland, California. I have documented this down to the minute. All right, there is no forum, but I just want to remind you what you're witnessing and what I'm pointing out is demonic conduct that's prosecuted as what is terrorism, while these demented stalkers, this is the government, wearing what is, I put this in air quotes, a mask of a janitor to stalk in a bathroom. Okay, engaging in that. Understand it's not different than the demon possessed that I'm taking documentation of at the Upland Public Library in the exact same environment. All right, there is no sun, no subdued sun, and no sunlight that's going to be over this roof that's going to be aiming through onto the surfaces inside of the venue, and it doesn't change when the state is engaging in paying attention to that which I've already published. It doesn't change the pattern of conduct. It's showing you a psychopath and a violent sex offender. All right. It is 5:02 p.m. and this is on surveillance cameras, which I'm again referencing right now as I speak. P.O.C. It is 5:02 at Fontana Lewis Public Library. All right. So what you'll see on the surveillance cameras is going in and picking this moment. The ongoing door closure, opening, closure. That's audible activity. It's open, right? Okay. Thank you. You have what is going in to clean the restroom. That is form for stalking in the bathroom. You're not looking at what is the outward activity that they want to appear to be engaging in, like that's the focus. You're remembering the elements and you're remembering the psychopath, okay, that wants to be around and create activity. That's what's ongoing. And when there's no one physically present, you have what is going in and clean the male's restroom to remain in relevant position with audible activity creation. This is essentially what is ongoing, and that is the use of the female janitors to do that right now. They arrive and start this activity that I'm capturing as I start getting up and packing up. This is not a coincidence. And you have what are third parties that are monitoring corporately someone in the bathroom while they're engaging in federal stalking, monitoring with communication devices. All right, and this is the sexual violence around the private space. But I want to be clear, like I said, with the demonic, which is what I'm revealing. These males that are maintaining relevant position, they're all engaged in sexual violence monitoring inside of a bathroom, okay? And then they are going further, engaging in affirmative conduct, engaging in relevant positioning, engaging in activity creation, engaging in light activity creation around that private space. And this is the demonic that know what you're doing, know when your panties are down, know exactly what you're doing inside of that private space. This is the sex offender, okay? And I want to document also Fontana Lewis engaging in federal stalking with a minor in the computer lab. This is P.O.C. It is 5:05 p.m. All right, it is 5:10 p.m. I did take an image of what is also the pacing conduct in relevant position to the restroom. And so what you're paying attention is to the positioning, and this is also demonic pacing that this African American male is engaging in on a communication device. This is demonic, and this is also pursuant to what I'm doing. So you have this pacing that begins and this operation of communication device as I start packing up, and especially as I start documenting what they're doing, which there's this flurry of activity as I start packing up my stuff. And again, while I'm describing what is the P.O.C, you're going to recall what is the necessary legislation as I have advocated, as I've designed it. This is that which is suggesting a sexually violent threat to the target individual while they're experiencing it, okay? Aware and realizing that people that they don't know are engaging in conduct that is very threatening, following around, all right, different faces, but doing the same thing and seeming to engage in this focused stalking conduct, all right, including with the government, all right, and the people that are around you. And then you have what is conduct that seems to circulate around what you're doing, and then you are mindful of the fact that that is following inside of the private space, especially while that same weird conduct of noise ongoing in the restroom with simultaneity to what you're doing inside of that restroom, while that ongoing environment that you are aware of is following everywhere that you go. This is what they're doing, and this is speaking to the sexual violence that the entity is engaging in. That's pacing. That's what I took a picture of. That is pacing. This is operation of a communication device. This is also that which is occurring as I get up. Understand they start entering in through this little hallway that's in alignment with the computer that I'm on. Start chit-chatting. The housekeeper that was already loitering in here, okay, she just comes from out of nowhere beside me to wipe off the dust next to me. And this is just speaking to not only stalking with activity, but waiting, all right? Going inside of the cleaning the bathroom is form, right? And you have what is a repeated use of audible activity, the door closure, and the state engaging in activity creation while my panties are down, while my legs are spread open, engaging in what is sexually violent activity creation with knowledge of what I'm doing in the restroom and also with knowledge of your documentation. This is Fontana Lewis Library engaging in that identical sexual violence, which is the P.O.C, but I'm documenting it because the entirety of the enemy is going to be the entity is going to be prosecuted for that. And again, what I documented today, this is FedEx, this is the Fontana Police Department, in the same way that demon-possessed stalker drives by under the fake sun, which remained over the venue. That was 2 o'clock at 10 a.m. And first of all, I got off the bus at 9 a.m. And second of all, came from Ontario, where the state is keeping its fake sun at 630 North Fern. So this is from Ontario to Fontana. There's no coincidence. The Fontana police are stalking and monitoring someone in a private space, engaging in corporate demonic activity together with these demons that are maintaining presence inside. They are all together monitoring with communication devices. This is why you have a demon that is pacing back and forth on a phone, okay? That's what I'm taking an image of. This is the sexual violence while they are engaging in monitoring and then engaging in that activity creation. This is their demonic activity inside of the bathroom. In a deliberately maintained environment, everything that is ongoing, including the physical presence, is pursuant to that ongoing focus of that individual that is being monitored. Okay, this is corporate demonic activity, and this is terrorism. They're stalking with noise, listening to every breath you breathe. They are doing the same thing as you pull off your undergarments in the bathroom. The moment that they are creating such activity, which, by the way, the sounding of door closure amplified inside of the bathroom. Okay, this is intentional conduct while the sex offender is listening to you document their criminal conduct. These are the same males that I'm speaking of that you're looking at that are maintaining presence inside of the venue. Okay, that's P.O.C. It is Fontana Lewis Library. It's 5:14 p.m. and this is sexual violence documented at that venue. And on my own surveillance cameras, and you're looking at what is maintenance of presence. All right, working here is no form. Demonic activity has nothing to do with your job, and has nothing to do with your status, has nothing to do with your outward appearing activity where the ongoing elements are being maintained. And you're looking at what is the sex offender while they are maintaining corporate presence all around. All right, literally doing everything based on what I do as I do it. All right, that's terrorism and that's sexual violence. That's P.O.C. All right, it is 7:36 p.m. and I'm exited the Fontana Lewis Library. The state's sounding plane engines, and I'm in directed light. I'm being molested with directed light. I have what is my shadows that are surrounding me, while that's audible activity and the indication of the state that is stalking, and the state is stalking vicariously, specifically a group stalker that is engaging in predatory conduct, sitting in their car while the state's sounding plane engines over my head, stalking in relevant position and directed light, 7 NEP 605. And what the state also does, this is what the people do, they're predators, okay? This is a Latino male, he's in front of the entrance doors, and understand they maintain corporate knowledge of where I am at all times. This is demonic conduct. all right, while they're engaging in federal stalking, keeping you surrounded at all times, manning the path in every direction. So you have a Latino male with 2 young kids. They're in directed light, all right? So these little minions are running around, colored lights on their shoes as they're running around in directed light. And as I walk out, then the 3 of them hurry past to walk inside of the library. That's crossing the path, okay? And they're doing so in directed light. This is how they're engaging in the maintenance of activity. That is an example of what is the people of the state of California engaging in what is sexual violence because the state is stalking. And this is how you're going to analyze it because this is what the government is doing. And that prosecution is going to be no joke. It's not going to be pacified because you're talking about some sort of touching with light. No, the state is stalking, the state is touching, and the state is touching with people who are also touching with little kids, using them indeed to monitor you while they are stalking you and utilizing underage children to engage in what is terrorism and sexual violence. All right, doing so with stalkers such as 8RQE239. All right, waiting in a dark parking lot, just like I showed you on video, the Fontana police in the same dark parking lot while my shadow was all around me. Engaging in that predatory conduct. That's the stalking conduct of the people of the state. That's demonic activity. So anyway, that's an example of what is the conduct of the people of the state, engaging in sexual violence, doing so, using their children, engaging in terrorism with the government. All right, so it is a new day. All right, and this is a realization of how you're going to prosecute a government that is acting through the people of the state. And this is the reliance on the people of the state while the state practices what's demonic activity. All right, and demonic activity being identified as the terrorism that it is amongst the group, the people, the gang of demons that they are, the people of the state and the public entity, the state of California. It is 7:39 p.m. and that's P.O.C. upon my exit of the venue, which is on camera as well. Okay, this is the pattern of conduct, and so you're talking about what is the government stalking system, and I'm documenting the vicarious aspect of that. I'm also documenting the state proper. The city of Fontana is a state actor. The United States Postal Service is a state actor. All right, the Fontana Police Department, that's a state actor. But I'm documenting what is the vicarious aspect of that entity. Right, the people of the state who are stalking. That's all you're doing under what's not the sun and what is not sunlight, and what is the impossible occurrence of laser-like conduct everywhere that you're going, a random intersection such as Arrow and Sierra Avenue in Fontana. All right, while that same phenomenon of what's not the sun over my head, all they are doing is stalking. And there are sex offenders that are psychopaths stalking with this light. It's demonic conduct, and touching with this weapon, if you will, of criminal activity is a sexual touching just like any other stalker would not be allowed to do, and certainly not the government, who has no business stalking in the first place. All right, it is 7:40 p.m. and that is P.O.C. 8 PVG 775. All right, license plates. Thinking they're going to touch me with no front license plate on their vehicle. This is some fat, overweight Latino demon-possessed stalker that I wouldn't want touching me with his hands or light. 7ADF 963. He's a sex offender. He's a predator. They're the same ones stalking in the bathroom waiting for you to come in so they can go in with their creepy audible activity coming through the walls. Like everything is heard super loud through the walls. It's demonic conduct. And they're all touching on the opposite side of the street as well. The state's touching with directed light. So we're going to get these demons as well. Satan surrounds. This is Arrow and Sierra. 91387B2. 6 CID 258. 6 UGF 528. It is 7:41 p.m. All right, these are the same sex offenders. Remember, the same sex offenders that are molesting in a car, stalking somebody and all night long. That's them. 8WNU028, 6MRN819, 8XRN380. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly who they are. It is the same with regard to United States Postal Service. All right, they are stalkers and sex offenders and very creepy, obsessive stalkers, psychopaths. 47203C3.
Group stalking at the Citibank at Arrow and Sierra. They're on the cameras of the ATM, the drive-through ATM. They're engaging in federal stalking. They're in directed light. There is no form. That is a method of a psychopath to stalk in the path and molest with directed light. It's 7:42 p.m. BM32L29, that's a paper plate. Stalking with peculiarized light. I'm thinking this is a similar white SUV vehicle that I captured before, but perhaps not. Anyway, the entity is stalking with peculiarized light. That's a pattern of conduct, all right? That is on the opposite side of the same street. And using their vehicle. This is the same thing that they're always doing. Chiefly using their vehicles. Using their venues as well, where they live. Using whatever they have at their disposal, their demons. And the idea is, the theme is they're always using light while they are stalking in the path. All right, license BLNH999. Yeah, these are demons that are all of the, and it's the same thing under the fake sun. And at nightfall, it's all directed light. Their headlights are reaching exceedingly far, swiping all across the landscape. Okay, they're all stalking in that environment. That's all they're doing. 7 TLN 862. And this is the framework for prosecuting an entity. That's the framework for prosecuting an entity. BQJ796. My 3 shadows are in front of me. Okay? It is 7:44 p.m. 8XLK128. And now my shadow activity has changed. I have a very tall shadow in front of me and an exceedingly tall shadow to my right. All right, goes from having 3 shadows in front of me to 1 in front, 1 to the side, and they're both really tall. This is ongoing changing light activity. That's called light activity. These are demons, and they're crossing path. They're maintaining presence in this environment. All right, that's called terrorism. All right, the reality is that they are all focused on you. That's why you're in this abnormal environment. The utter absence of normalcy. Psychopaths surround. That is terrorism. This is the framework for prosecuting an entity. It is, by the way, 7:45 p.m. And I want to be clear, with regard to documentation of the entity, it's no joke. With regard to, and of course, this is clear. Contrary to my ability to laugh at what is pathetic, it is not a laugh because it's entertaining. Well, sometimes that which is really pathetic is entertaining, but I have been given an extraordinary sense of humor, even in the midst of this sort of buffoonery that I am confronting. But with regard to the seriousness and the documentation, like I said, United States Postal Service might as well be crouching because that's exactly what they are. They're crouching in the bathroom stall, stalking, standing around, crouching outside of the bathroom, stalking around the bathroom, stalking someone and monitoring while they are a part of the same entity, that pattern of conduct, while they're group stalking at the Fontana Chamber of Commerce under the fake sun, creating peculiarized light. That criminal conduct doesn't stop there. Okay, United States Postal Service likes to stalk a lot, and they are very well engaging in the sexual violence while I'm inside of a particular venue. All right, you're not slicing and dicing the P.O.C. You're monitoring with the government, and you're going down for the totality of that government system that you want to participate in. All right, you're going to be a sex offender. You're going to be a wholehearted sex offender on behalf of a public entity. Get ready. It is 7:47 p.m. and that's the reality of what FedEx is engaging in. All right, they are stalking somebody, engaging in demonic activity that is terrorism, engaging in surveillance in a private space while an American citizen is pulling down their panties. All right, and they're engaging in stalking in a bathroom in a private space. That unprecedented, exceedingly predatory and demented conduct is what FedEx is engaged in. All right, and this is the breakdown of what is a group activity that you are not slicing and dicing. You're engaged in the pattern of conduct, the totality of that pattern of conduct, period. All right? And believe me, if FedEx could, they would deliver a package to the bathroom stall right next to me. That's how desperate and pathetic they are. That's what Satan engages in. And they are FedEx is, and just like every other one, but let me be clear, FedEx in particular, Amazon Prime in particular, these are companies diseased with demon possession. They are sick with demon possession, including Omnitrans. Okay? They would build a bus stop in the bathroom stall if they could, believe me. All right, touching in directed light. This is a Fontana Metrolink train station. It is 7:48 p.m. Documenting what is molestation by Omnitrans acting on behalf of the entity. They're a violent sex offender. This is nothing new. Documenting it right now. The whole entity will be prosecuted for that. P.O.C. All right, molesting via license plate. This is Route 66 saying that, Route 61 saying it's out of service. License plate 1399976, bus number 1262, in directed light. All right, and molesting with that light. License 1399984, molestation ongoing. I've shown you the heavy demonic activity underway at this particular train station, and all they're doing in directed light. That's all you're doing, like I said. It is 7:49 p.m. P.O.C. at Fontana Metrolink train station. All right, stalking in concert with the people of the state at the train station. Again, let me read this license plate of Omnitrans 1399984. That's bus 1270. These freak weirdos are literally standing around with double shadows. I mean, this is the reality of breaking down and making bare the demonic. They're going to be embarrassed, not me. I'm going to drag them in court. This is license plate 1387338. And these demons are all congregated over here. All of them in directed light. Okay? All of them. License, I'm going to get this other one over here. And that is bus route number 14. They're stalking in relevant position. You're not running a transit line. You're not running a bus line. And you're not there under that legal basis. You're in relevant position and you're stalking with light in that environment. That's what you're doing. That's why the environment is present. You don't even have a logical argument. Group stalking in the parking lot of the Fontana Metrolink train station as well. Just sitting around in the parking lot in their cars. All right, Route 19, stalking with peculiarized light. License plate 1479148. All right, and this one creeping around the corner, I'm going to get them because they were just sitting in the parking lot and they know that I'm walking around, so now they're moving. License 5FFZ012. Monitoring with Omnitrans, which is maintaining light around the perimeter. That's what you're doing in directed light. You are stalking with the state that is also flying around the perimeter in aircraft right now. 5DJZ857. Yeah, the other one got smart and left the parking lot. Nobody's escaping anything, though. I just want to be clear. 7FEE595, 5EXU560. I got 3 shadows, 4 shadows. And they're very, very tall. In the Fontana Metrolink train station. That announcement in directed light is what is the engagement in the pattern of conduct. They don't even have to have a train here, okay? You can prosecute. All you have to do is document the pattern of conduct, and it'll be attributed to what is a venue. All right, you can get the city of Fontana on that. 8UCR707, 8TPV722, 8MNZ630, 5PUX976, 8BOM159. 7UXL862. You got another one that's, instead of sitting in a car, he's standing around, walking around. This is maintenance of presence in the path, and he's in directed light. All right, operational communication device. 8 LEW 140. It's 7:54 p.m. For ROT 087 5EXU 560. Alrighty. And I already read this license plate, but yeah, they're just sitting in the parking lot maintaining presence while demons are walking around over there. Oh, do you know what time the next bus comes? Well, they got 3 shadows around them. That's a demon. 5DJZ 857. And all they are doing, all the demon possessors are doing is the exact same thing inside of any venue. Okay, if it's a grocery store, it'll be a question about where is there some product in the environment. If it's a library, where is some book? Can you help me print? I don't know how to use this machine. In the environment, they're psychopaths. And this psychopath driving Omnitrans Route 82, engaging in criminal facilitation, sexual violence, they're sex offenders, monitoring with the people of the state. All right, so this company is going down for on many federal levels. 1545862. That's bus number 2348. Route 82. I would not follow the route of Omnitrans. They're on the route to destruction, the route to prosecution. UPS crossing path on Sierra Avenue. License 6ZGE213. One, two, three, four, 5 shadows to my left. That is speaking to the psychopaths that surround. DT464, that's a handicap. This is the village at Sierra, where I documented what is a stalker, a demon-possessed stalker, who was in directed light while he was using that white vehicle, and I took video so you could see it while my shadow was surrounding me while he was stalking in the path and molesting with light at the venue, because that's what it is, where there is no protection from any prosecution. You're not at home, you're at a venue. That's why the state's environment is here. Okay? The pattern of conduct supersedes, period. And you have what is that environment while I'm at that third-party facilitating venue, which is right across the street. This is massive monitoring, demonic activity. The demonic environment remains. It is 7:57 p.m. All right, I did take pictures of what is the, first of all, molestation by Omnitrans. And Omnitrans, again, represents the people. It's just a commercial actor. And you have this is demonic activity that Omnitrans is engaging in. This driver, with simultaneity to my very subtle movement, I'm barely moving. You're talking about stalking with activity. That's the demonic that's the behavioral pattern. As I do, he's using what is directed light to touch from this distance. You see where the bus is? This is directed light though, so his shadow is reaching all the way over here where I am sitting on the bench, and he crosses path intentionally at the same time that I'm making movement, and the group stalker sitting on the bench is an operation of a communication device, okay? And so is he. I want to be clear that the bus drivers, and you've got one maintaining presence inside of the bathroom, and he crosses path. These are drivers. This is Omnitrans engaging in sexual violence and demonic activity. That's terrorism, while they are monitoring with communication devices. And as they're walking in directed light, this is the maintenance of the environment. This is demonic conduct by the people, all right? While they are maintaining that environment, walking in that state's directed light is an ongoing touching, which the demons are doing with knowledge, with simultaneity to what you are doing, okay? P.O.C. That's what I took a picture of the bus for. It's Route 66 that you're looking at, and that's the license 1399984. All right, you have a Latino male that crosses path. He's entering inside of that same restroom, and I'm giving you an example. He's walking in, and while he walks by, you're covered with what is directed light. Touching with the magnified size of a shadow is another method of touching, all right? And what is unnatural light activity? This is extraordinarily magnified size of their shadows swiping all over you. While they are crossing path. This is intentional, and this is the psychopath, all right, that is engaging in passive-aggressive sexual violence, passive-aggressive stalking, while the entire environment is centered around molesting you, and stalking and monitoring you. That's the psychopath, and that's what demons do. That's the demonic activity. That's omnitrends. Okay, that's P.O.C. It's 8:01 p.m. All right, want to document Metrolink engaging in the P.O.C. That's audible activity and directed light. And I also want to point out common sense. Everybody on that Metrolink train that is going eastbound right now at 8:04 p.m. on cameras at the Fontana Metrolink train station and cameras on the Metrolink itself are monitoring. All of them. You're not only engaging in monitoring, you're engaging in criminal facilitation of monitoring while you are engaging in sexual violence and that which is terrorism, because this is demonic activity. It's 8:04, and that's audible activity creation and directed light and loitering in relevant position. And also, you're not going to hear that train inside or at the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library. That's P.O.C. 8:04 p.m. All right. Route 82, loitering in relevant position. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shadows. Ongoing molestation. Monitoring on the bus. Every single last one of them on camera. This is license 1234524. And Omnitrans itself is monitoring as well. That's P.O.C. It's 8:06 p.m. It is currently 8:07 p.m. Are you a bus stop? What are you doing? This is 8:07 p.m. This is molestation. And these are cars that are not permitted entrance, and there's a sign that says don't enter for the cars. This is a third party engaging in molestation and directed light, 7GQJ841. Parking in front of what is the bus stall for Route 61. Crossing path is Omnitrans, who's sitting in relevant position, sitting not at a bus stop, sitting in front of where this third party is stopping in front, 1479124. They're maintaining peculiarized light, and you have a group stalker in a vehicle, not a bus, 7GQJ841, who molests with light. All right, in directed light, it's they're monitoring with Omnitrans. I just want to be clear, they just stopped in front of the 61 bus route. That's not a coincidence either. This is P.O.C. and they're doing it in directed light. That's what I captured images of as well. All right, you're looking at what is the light activity creation that third party engaged in, and this is engaging in sexual violence. And let me be clear, Omnitrans is a commercial sex offender. Those third parties are the ordinary sex offenders in their ordinary vehicles, okay? And engaging in the repeated act with another group stalker license 8TLN 031. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows, okay? Omnitrans can permit third parties to drive through all they want. These are psychopaths that are monitoring the documentation. Guess what I'm looking at? The directed light, which is absolutely abnormal, while they are engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring and engaging in what is a super duper orgy, while they're all touching together and going out of their way like that third party in directed light to touch me, while Omnitrans gets out the way so that they can park at their bus stop, okay? That's what Omnitrans is doing. Omnitrans is engaging in criminal facilitation. Omnitrans is a sex offender. They're engaging in sexual violence together. I don't, but it's not going to make any sense. You're talking about sexual violence. You're talking about a sex offender. These are demon-possessed, walking around with 4 and 5 shadows around them. They're psychopaths. License 1479148, bus number 1309, loitering in relevant position, engaging in ongoing molestation and sexual violence, holding hands with the people of the state, engaging in sexual violence and stalking together with the government. This is what the demonic like to do. So I just took a whole bunch of pictures. What you're going to look at is the abnormal light activity that they're in. Look at my shadow. It's reaching all the way into the street, across the street, onto the property of the village at Sierra. This third party, they park in front. The state is molesting with directed light. That's not their headlights. They're parking at bus stop number 61 on the property of the Fontana Metrolink train station. You have what is getting it out in directed light, opening and closing doors. She's looking at me, thinking about saying something. That's what she was doing, because this is a demon-possessed stalker who knows that I'm documenting her. And I took a picture of her ugly face, okay? Took a picture of her face, took a picture of the third party's face, and you're looking at that light activity. He's got 2 shadows. He's monitoring. This is a demon-possessed stalker who is touching all over my body, all right, without any consent, while he's stalking, representing the government, who's going out of their way to come and molest with Omnitrans. I'm going to prosecute Omnitrans in the city of Fontana. This is the city of Fontana property. This is Omnitrans utilizing it to engage in sexual violence. This is what they like to do, because this is exactly how it's going to be prosecuted. And you need to hear the truth about what the demon-possessed are doing. The demon-possessed are acting via Omnitrans. These are demons sitting around in buses, listening to somebody who's going to prosecute them with this very evidence, all right? And then engaging and welcoming another third party to join in on that action. It's not changing anything. And you're looking at that light activity. That's exactly the environment that Omnitrans is touching me and Omnitrans is a sex offender. It's a psychopath. It's revealing demonic conduct. That's what it's revealing. It's revealing all of their condition, which is demon possession. And these demons are touching all over together. All over. This is bus number 1352, loitering irrelevant position. All right, and bus number 1535541. Bus 1352. Okay, so this other bus that I read when I was reading the license plate is that third party that stops in front of me. Okay, and then you have another third party that will engage in that, which is equally not supposed to be done. It's not a bus. There's no traffic through here for cars. It's a bus stop. All right, and traffic is not frequenting through here. They are when they're crossing path and directed light, though. And they're idiots. Okay, they are idiots in ways that they have not conjured up yet. But anyway, like I said, this isn't for traffic. You're engaging in crossing a path. You're engaging in going out of your way to represent a terrorizing threat because you want to touch so bad, because you want to harass so bad while you're monitoring my documentation, because that's what you're doing. And you also are engaging in acting in concert with a commercial actor that's cooperating with that. All right, because you have what is Omnitrans that enters into the driveway. This is Orange Way. They enter in. This is an out of service bus, and then it stops at the Metrolink site. It says out of service, and it just stops over there instead of stopping at stopping at a bus stop. And then you'll have what is a third party. This third party who drives in stops in front of 61, opens the trunk, opens the doors of the driver and passenger side, then closes them, closes their trunk, gets back in the car, and drives off. And then you'll have what is Omnitrans that crosses path. Understand what that third party, it's the same exact conduct, using that Camry instead of Omnitrans molesting. All right, Omnitrans is still molesting. Route 66 is sitting here in directed light molesting. These demon-possessed stalkers that are walking in the directed light are molesting. Okay, their shadows are 6 feet. No, I'm sorry, that's like 17 feet tall. My shadow's reaching across the street to the village at Sierra. That's what I'm taking a picture of while they're opening and closing their trunks. Those are psychopaths. Those are the same psychopaths that walk in circles. They drive in circles. They pace back and forth in their cars in directed light. They're demons. They're psychopaths. All right? Getting out, just opening up, making noise in directed light. That's what they're doing. All right? Omnitrans doing the same thing, doing it in the form of running a bus line. Okay? Understand what demons do. Going to a library to stalk, using a computer stalking in the environment. All right, printing up documents, stalking an environment, waiting for a bus in the environment while you're molesting and stalking in the path and monitoring with the government that's over and above and plane and helicopter. Going out of their way like that weirdo group stalk, those weirdos did, and you're looking at his shadow. He's got two shadows while he's walking around opening and closing the doors. They're creating noise in the light. It's demonic. All right, that's terrorism. And that's the terrorism that they follow you into the bathroom with. While the state is pumping in audible activity and or group stalkers are crouching, group stalkers like what you're seeing out here, this is what they're doing inside of a private space as far as the elements are concerned. No, they're not driving a car in the bathroom. But the state will sound traffic inside of a bathroom, all right, as impossible as that is. It's demonic. All right, totally twisted. So anyway, I captured those in images, and that's equally attributed to Omnitrans. You're talking about just ongoing documentation for what is going to be a prosecution, and if this company survives, documenting and cataloging every act of vicious sexual violence and that of hostility of the psychopath that are the demon-possessed operating this bus line. Working for this bus line, riding on the bus line. Demonic activity is not based on your being an employee and being a patron. They're demons that are acting together as one, holding different statuses in the natural, being uniformed as a driver versus being uniformed with the same demon possession as a passenger, engaging in the same demonic activity in the same demonic environment. Okay, and these are demons engaging in federal stalking all together. All right, it's 8:16 p.m. That's P.O.C. License 8KGB528. Where are we at? It is 8:45 p.m. This looks like. Oh, we're at Ontario Mills. They're monitoring. Yeah, they're definitely monitoring. Our monitoring is ongoing, but I like to identify where I'm at. This is for purposes of prosecution when you're getting to the totality of everybody that's going to be reached with regard to the criminal system that was underway. Speaking to where I'm at, and this is Ontario Mills, and I'm just saying that because I have specifically documented, and there is absolutely no question about Ontario Mills monitoring.
It is 8:46 p.m. Eight PSV 101. That's 8P as in Paul, SV 101. 81095. This is the Illinois plate. The letters F as in Frank, P as in Paul. These are small letters on the side, and then it says 81095. This is an Illinois plate. At Mall and Milliken. Inland Empire and Milliken, essentially. And it's 8:49 p.m. Ontario Mills engaging in facilitation via creation of peculiarized light in the parking lot at the driveway entrance of the Cane's Raisin Chicken and the 76. I believe that is a security vehicle. They're creating peculiarized light, just like I showed at the Niños Plaza in Fontana. The security on the side of the SoCal Edison. That's facilitation by the venue. It's 8:50 p.m. 7KZX 138. 8EVX 839. Stalking with light on Inland Empire. That's what I just took pictures of. They're stalking in the path, utilizing emergency vehicles to do so. It's criminal facilitation, not only by everybody on the bus, including Omnitrans, who are monitoring in directed light as well. And that is the fire department. This is the city of Ontario, so that's Ontario Fire Department using their vehicles, stalking in the path. All right, and this is Inland Empire. It's 8:55 p.m. That's what I just took pictures of while I'm sitting on the bus. We're on Inland Empire Boulevard and stopping right now at, I believe this is where the Benihana is. Oh, the La Quinta. Yeah, the La Quinta Hotel. Is this Porsche? Porsche in Inland Empire, I believe. And that is P.O.C. I can't really see that sign. It looks discolored, but at the La Quinta Inn off Inland Empire is where we're stopped right now at the intersection above in the street. That's what I'm taking pictures of on the bus. That's light activity creation, and that's stalking with light. That's the state using their emergency vehicles to do so. P.O.C. 8SEF 555, 7KJB 144. And we are approaching U.S.C at Inland Empire at 9 p.m. on the dot. Let's see, this is license plate. Demons are being so bashful when they know they're getting documented. License 8DFM 779. When they think they're getting away with something, boy, they're piled up. 8DFM 797. And that's exactly what the Ontario Fire Department is doing as well. All right, stalking in the path with light. And doing that as opposed to having a bunch of the minions in their private vehicles that I'm identifying by license plate, being close enough for me to get that license plate. Okay. It is 9 p.m. on the dot still, passing U.S.C right now, going toward the Ontario Airport, a venue. Okay, same exact pattern of conduct. And you're understanding how the state, as I've already shown, but you're understanding, getting the bigger picture where that environment is maintained while the demon-possessed of the police department, the demon-possessed of the fire department, the demon-possessed of the ambulatory services are engaging in demonic activity, okay? The very reason why they have no business in those lines of, in those industries, all right? That's what this is revealing, as well as criminal conduct for which they'll be prosecuted. But there's a whole bunch of people that are gonna be snatched out of positions that they pose a danger, all right? Satan literally has no business in those fields. 6LRB009.
Please remember that masks will be required.
This is how you engage in repeated acts of kidnapping when you have Satan working for law enforcement, Satan in the courts, all right? Satan practicing law, Satan in the medical field. That's how that happens. It's 9:02 p.m. at Archibald and Airport.
And that's exactly what I documented with regard to the demonic possession of the state actors who engaged in kidnapping via fictitious prosecution. Case number Mary Wendy Victor 2000640. The same department, the Ontario Fire Department, the Ontario Police Department, 18YX020, and the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court understand the state's fake son over all of those venues. They are nothing but venues. They are the demon possessed. Documented the state's fake son over every single last one of them because they're venues. And this is the state system. And that's not the sun that is documented over those venues. It's 9:02 p.m. at the Ontario Airport. Seven PFL 057. Excuse me. UOH 734, 5YHS 870, HFH 8968, that's out of state, 90810P2, Peculiarized Light, 8WGI 696. Security there's no form. They're in directed light. And this is the pattern of conduct at the airport. FLY 8030. All these demons in the middle of the road using their hazard lights. It's P.O.C. They're all in directed light at the airport. Doesn't matter using commercial, taxi cab, monitoring, license plate 43590E2. That's Bell Cab. It is 9:04 p.m. and this is demonic activity at the Ontario Airport where federal stalking is underway. VACTOR 6YYC 283, 7GIC 685, 840PN handicap. Omnitrans Route 61 is stalking with peculiarized light across the street. I'm at the TAD office, the San Bernardino County Human Services Department at 1647 West Holt. And so Omnitrans stops, the bus that I'm on stops and is engaging in a conversation with somebody outside of the bus, while 61, the opposite route, the eastbound, is sitting in relevant position across the street and with the hazards on. This is P.O.C. as Omnitrans is engaging in stalking with peculiarized light. It is 9:14 p.m. 7UMD 794. Eight UDR 125. 8 JVG 355. 6 HVZ 211, I believe. At Sultana and Hope Boulevard. That is 8HVZ 711. This one doesn't have a light. He's going into B&G Plaza though.
Civic Center transfer
on
station
camera.
Connected to
License
61 and 83.
Yeah, 7KWK 589. 6TUJ 977.
If possible, please use
It's 9:19, 9:20 p.m. at Lemon and Holt at bus stop number 7910. This bus driver is number 3640. This is federal stalking. That's P.O.C. License 1404974, bus 1330. Monitoring with the state that's hovering over the interstate and Holt and Plum as I'm getting off the bus, and I'm in direct light. Okay, that's the same entity flying directly, hovering over. And again, rising up right over the B&G Plaza. The Ontario Airport is not right there behind, and the state, that's not taking off from the airport in the same way that the state engages in quote-unquote taking off right above me. you would be taking off from the airport, you would already be higher. I'm taking pictures of what is hovering over the B&G Plaza. This is stalking in a plane, and at that pinpoint location, while I'm in directed light, by the way, I'm just breaking down the ongoing conduct and what is clear stalking with an airplane, because the pattern of conduct is already established. Omnitrans is documented present, engaging in creation of light activity, and doing so in directed light as I'm getting off of that bus, and that is the license plate. That's African American driver, number 3640, at 9:21 p.m. That is P.O.C. And also I want to document I think at the venue of the Ontario Airport, Amazon Prime in directed light at the Ontario Airport, stalking with peculiarized light at the airport as well. I want to document that. That's P.O.C. All right, that is peculiarized light creation in directed light, the same exact P.O.C. And it is regardless of identity, and that's entirely malicious conduct by the demon possessed. That's 9:25 p.m. P.O.C.
And that is license 4WON432 POC.
That's helicopter activity and stalking with directed light. And the demon possessed are driving by while the state is aiming directed light inside of the car and touching on all over my body with this directed light while flying over by helicopter at the same time, okay? I want to be clear, that's FedEx engaging and molesting my body right now. That's FedEx acting with this group stalker who's crossing path in directed light. License plate 7ZVJ578. And while the demon possessed are engaging in what is crossing path in directed light, while that demon possessed stalker in a helicopter is flying in circles repeatedly right now. Okay? I want to be clear, that's Omnitrans, that's engaging in molestation. Understand the company itself is going to be prosecuted for molesting the person of an American citizen that they are engaging in monitoring in concert with a government. Okay? You are speaking of what is FedEx, what is the United States Postal Service. They are engaging in that sexual violence together. So let's get this demon-possessed stalker engaging in the same. Directed light across both sides of the street, 8 TPA 306. In directed light. And directed light across the houses as they're crossing path. That's not their headlights. That's directed light. And that is a form of molestation as well. That's demon possession. That's POC. It is 9:52 p.m. And let me be clear, there's no separation from the helicopter that's flying around in circles over me. This is demonic activity. This is the same demonic activity that FedEx is practicing, the same demonic activity that the United States Postal Service is practicing, the same demonic activity that Omnitrans is practicing, the same demonic activity that 7-Eleven as a business is practicing, the same demonic activity that the Fontana Lewis Library, the patrons, and the employees alike, the demon-possessed that are maintaining relevant positioning and audible activity are practicing. Okay? The same demonic activity that the city of Fontana is practicing while this stalker is flying over the vehicle at 630 North Fern and molestation is ongoing. This is documentation of that entire entity. It is 9:52 p.m. That's POC. Oh, I want to be clear. Tracy Banks is engaging in molestation of her own daughter. That's a very violent and exceedingly demented sex offender. Besides the fact that she is stalking her own, and let me be clear, she's not only engaging in federal stalking, she is literally a stalker. I've documented her engaging in stalking conduct, that which she cannot explain, and she can explain, and she won't address. She honestly can't even be honest about it, but it's documented objective evidence, and I don't have to make it up. She's literally a stalker. She has a history of stalking, and she is a demon-possessed sex offender, and she is molesting, and that's the exact same analysis that applies to Tracy Banks' license 4WON432. While the state is flying over that vehicle that I am inside of that belongs to her, she is stalking and monitoring in concert with that entity, engaging in that demonic activity as well. Okay, she's holding hands with FedEx, with Omnitrans, those companies engaging in that demonic activity. They're one entity. That's POC. License 7206M. I can't see the rest of it. Those demons are fleeing from 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine. They're loitering in relevant position. And let me be clear, 7-Eleven is just a commercial venue. Just like I showed you with 325 West G Street, that's a venue as well. It's a habitat of a demon. Okay, that goes for the rest of them. They're all venues around here, but they are loitering in relevant position at commercial venues, which are typically armed with surveillance cameras, and they're in relevant position where the state is stalking them by plane and helicopter. That's ongoing documentation. You're looking at them shopping in relevant position. You're looking at them loitering in relevant position. You're looking at them engaging in demonic activity, what they're doing as they're doing it. P.O.C. at 636 North Vine. All right, I was going to document this demon anyway. They go out of their way to honk their horns. Honk, 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 in directed light. That's P.O.C., okay? 8MKB379, 7RXM767. This is 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine. All right, the same venue where kidnapping was underway by the Ontario Police, the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, where the state was engaging in the same conduct that I've documented over and over again, hovering over this venue in relevant position in directed light while the police were stalking in the path. And as I was documenting their criminal conduct and their demonic activity, they engaged in kidnapping. All right, and that is the synopsis of the prosecution of the Ontario Police Department, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, and the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department monitoring with the state. That's the same venue, though, where that kidnapping began and the repeated kidnappings pursuant to that fictitious prosecution. Case number Mary Wendy Victor 2000640. All right, let's document these demons crossing path in directed light, molesting. License plate 5YSB291. All right, the same directed light I was in at Omnitrans 7UIH894. I'm sorry, not Omnitrans. That's not an Omnitrans train station. It's a Metrolink train station where Omnitrans maintains bus stops. And at Fontana Metrolink, you're looking at those demons that go out of their way to touch at the 61 bus stop in that white Camry. And you're looking at what's my directed light, my long, exceedingly long, in that shadow I have 4 legs. That's 2 shadows I have. That's the exact same light activity while they're crossing path right now. All right, that's P.O.C. And that's also, let me translate demonic conduct for you. It's hostility as they're listening to me remind you, because not that I need to, I'm going to prosecute it, but this is the reality of that venue, and the people of the state were engaged in kidnapping. All right, and that's going down as the federal charges that they're going to all answer for. But anyway, that's hostility while they cross path and listening to me document that on my podcast right now. It's 10:08 p.m. I'm back at 60 North Fern. It's P.O.C.